Shane TV East Watch, your host Derek Jones here. As promised, I was going to bring you guys a little bit of Prince York. He's a new, I guess, a new person that Sonnet is trying to drag out to distract us all from what's been going on this past year, and also to try to move forward. And here at Shane TV, we thwart and we stop all of those attempts at moving forward without answering for what you did. You can move forward, but you're going to have to answer sincerely and genuinely. Now, here I just wanted you to listen to a little audio, and we'll go in of Prince York and what really drove me to do this. And so here we go.
Did you hear my question? I heard you. I'm coming around. All right, I'm coming around. But the question was, has there ever been? And the Nuwaubian Nation, I will say the Nuwaubian Nation is not perfect peace and harmony. The Nuwaubian Nation is a nation, just like America is a nation and Ghana is a nation. Right. So we have crime, we have problems, and we deal with it as such. We deal with it as just once it has been judged by right reason. A lot of people don't know how our way. When you say the way in Nuwapic, it's called Patarak. So by the Patarak, or our way, we have a judicial branch in our nation or our government known as the 24 Elders, or the Council of Supreme Grand 24 Elders. And you have 12 men and 12 females, elders, who make judgments upon different things that go on in the nation and how we should deal with them as far as whether it be a crime, whether it be things of that nature. So we definitely deal with it. Like, for example, my father's situation. My father's being wrongly accused. But then recently, when people started seeing alleged fake victims coming up on YouTube, fake victims saying Dr. York did this.
Alleged fake
so
victims, like you said.
Not a lot, but a small group of Nuwaubians.
Let's pause that for a second. Alleged fake victims. He said it correctly the first time, people. He said alleged fake victims. So remember that. Alleged fake victims. Then he goes on to characterize them as fake victims, because he has to say alleged fake victims because there's no evidence whatsoever that they are indeed fake victims. So he's calling them fake victims maybe because he wants to, and it looks better for Malachi Z. York if he were to call them fake victims and they were to be classified as such. Okay, but there is no evidence whatsoever of that they are fake victims.
Shame. All right? Shame.
We can continue.
You know who did it? You follow what I'm saying? And they was coming at my older brother, Jacob York, and they were saying Jacob York did a lot of stuff to different people and was protected, but because he was Dr. York's son.
Now, this whole Jacob York nonsense, if anyone is privy to information about that, please put it in the comment section. But as I've searched these webs, and no one's heard anything about any Jacob York and Jacob York being involved with any molestation, with Jacob York being involved with mistaken identity with his father, involved with molestation. No one's heard any of these things. So people always remember, when you're hearing things, this is what is called hearsay. I hear you saying this shit, Prince York, but I don't see any evidence of such.
So people didn't come at him, and my father had no knowledge of it. And when my father got knowledge of it, Jacob set up my father to put my father in jail because he...
Now that's very convenient. As well as being convenient, it's extremely colorful. Like that's a colorful set of events. Like that's like a movie. That's kind of dramatic in a sense. I want to say, to be honest, it's dramatic. So I don't know. We're gonna continue though, just to see what he says, because I just want you guys to hear it, and we'll dissect it a little bit more as we do it.
So we definitely deal with it. Like, for example, my father's situation. My father's being wrongly accused. But then recently, when people started seeing alleged fake victims coming up on YouTube, fake victims saying Dr. York did this, to me. So a lot of Nuwaubians, not a lot, but a small group of Nuwaubians came out and said, no, that didn't happen to you. Actually, I know what happened to you, and I know who did it.
Now, Prince York, I'm going to say this to you. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. I got to be honest with you.
Shame. Shame.
For many reasons, that's the craziest shit I've heard in my life. You have a group of elders. We're gonna go strictly by what you said, what he said. There's a group of elders. Amongst these group of elders, there's 24 of them. There's 12 women and 12 brothers. Sisters and 12 brothers. Now, they got together and decided to investigate the Malachi Z York situation. Now, upon investigating Malachi Z York's situation, they come to the conclusion that not that no one was molested. Did you hear him say anything about anybody not being molested? He said that what happened to you, we know what happened to you. It wasn't basically, it's not the person. So basically, you are saying that molestation has been taking place on Malachi Z. York's compound. You're just now trying to rub it off on the other son, Jacob York. Jacob, conveniently, Jacob. Anyway, Jacob York is now the one who was perpetrating these acts against these people.
Shame. Shame.
And they're saying this with a definite tone, like with definity, like, yo, this is what happened to you. Whatever you said happened to you, fuck all of that shit. We're gonna tell you exactly what happened to you. That's not only insensitive, that's arrogant, and that's the craziest shit I've been asked to believe in my entire life. But I'm going to listen to a little bit more of Prince York, and then I'll close this out. That's the craziest shit I ever heard of, nigga. You going to tell me what happened to me. How you know? You've been knowing all this time and you haven't said anything? What the fuck is up with that? That makes absolutely no sense, Prince York. You have a lot to explain. You should have said that shit to yourself before you came up here. That's the problem. A lot of you dudes just come up here on these shows.
You follow what I'm saying?
Just talk.
And they was coming at my older brother, Jacob York. And they were saying Jacob York did a lot of stuff to different people and was protected, but because he was Dr. York's son. So people didn't come at him, and my father had no knowledge of it. And when my father got knowledge of it, Jacob set up my father to put my father in jail because he knew my father didn't have tolerance for that. We're trying to build the first beautiful black nation, and your sick ass is coming in here and ruining everything. You know what I mean? It's sick. It's literally sick. People forget. That shit is mentally ill. To be sitting there touching kids, that's bruh.
When were we going to hear about this? When were we going to hear about this molesting son of Malachi Z. York named Jacob York? When was anybody going to hear about this? Because I've never heard about any of this shit until right now. This is the shit I be talking about with these dudes. It's confession as long as it's going to make Malachi Z. York look good.
That's mentally ill. When you look at your own kids, bro, man, yo. I put my hands on people like that. You have to instruct pain upon people like that.
Now, here at Shame TV, this is what we do.
Shame.
We don't want to put any pain on you, any physical pain. Instead of giving you physical pain, we'd rather give you some of these. Okay? There you are. Shame of the week, Prince York, for that asinine excuse and reasoning behind molestation in Dr. York. Look, man, Dr. York molested them kids unless you have a witness with personal first-hand knowledge to attest that that did not happen. To refute all the other witnesses with personal first-hand knowledge. Who said that it happened? So until you get to that fucking point, man, stop talking because you're making yourself look extremely crazy. That explanation was the worst thing that you possibly could have said. We got a council that no one heard of. All these elders that no one knows and can verify whether this is actually true or not. And then on top of that, they're going to tell victims what really happened to them, leading everyone else with a fucking brain to conclude that, hey, either you knew about that shit way longer than you saying now, or you knew more, or you heard more, or whatever. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Shame TV, we're out.
Shame. Shame.
Damn, Yorkie.